welcome to Under Further Review, presented in part by Last Word on Sports. I'm Kata.
I'm here.
Andrew's here. And it's going to be a good show today.
Okay.
It is.
If you say so.
So, for those of you watching on our live stream, I went ahead and warned you someone's having a little bit of a rough day today.
It's Monday, and I'm having a bit of a weekend. It's been a whole thing.
Yeah. Since
the game's on Sunday, I feel a little better, but for the most part, it's been a time. Saturday night was really hard.
I get it. Look, it's hard. I understand you're going through something, and obviously, like,
By the way, my sports team lost. I didn't lose a family member or anything, so it's a game.
Right? No, it's a game, but we need to talk about it because here's the thing. I mean, I want to, as we are supposed to do on this show, talk about everything that happened this weekend, but I feel like we can't actually do that adequately until you get some things off your chest.
Right. Firstly, follow us on all the social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're at UFR Vodcast with a V.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast is out every Thursday, wherever you find the podcasts.
Yep.
Except for Spotify, we're not that cool yet.
That's correct.
Oh, boy. Shoot us emails, andrewandkata@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's where you find us. And
that was the weakest social media intro of all time.
It really was, but you know what? It's fine. You did it. I forgot, so that's good.
It's fine.
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Let's I'll start simple. So as it happens, we had a little bit of a situation. The Patriots lost to the Tennessee Titans.
Before we continue, should we shut that door?
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff going on.
Oh, I mean the bathroom. Is the bathroom door open?
Oh,
no, it's not. Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
They're not there. I mean, they are, but they're not.
Anyways, as it happens, the New England Patriots lost to the Tennessee Titans. And in what can really only be described as a true heartbreak of a game. The Titans,
I guess.
I wouldn't even say they played particularly well.
Neither team played well.
Really. Exactly. But that last interception really just kind of, I mean, that was the end of the game. So what were your thoughts approaching that fourth quarter?
Well, I didn't watch most of the game, actually. I caught the important parts.
Okay.
I didn't see the interception until I saw the highlights at the end. I thought when I was walking out, the game was ending, and I hadn't seen any I saw the field goal when they got stopped on at the 1 yard line because they're the fucking Patriots and they're worthless. And then I heard about the touchdown from Henry before halftime.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, at one point I would have preferred to be up at halftime, but whatever, fine. And then I didn't get any updates because I was working. I didn't get any updates for like an hour, and I was like, this game is going to end 14-13. And as I was walking out, I heard Brady threw an interception, and I said, they're going to lose the game 14-13, and then someone said it was an interception for a touchdown. And then I looked, and it was Logan Ryan, and I went, of course it was. Okay, so they lose 20-13. I wrote on my blog that I predicted, didn't expect, I thought the Patriots would win, but I would not be surprised if they lost.
You said that on our show, too.
Yeah, and I cried. No, I didn't cry. I didn't expect it to hit me the way that it did.
Right.
Yeah. A bunch of us went to a bar afterwards, and I got my beer first out of the other members of my group, and before my friends' drinks were brought over, I had finished mine.
Yes. Sounds right.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm so mad.
What went wrong? What happened?
What do you mean went wrong? They can't fucking stop the run.
Okay.
Their defense shit the bed. They have no offense. You can't win a game. If you thought that they were gonna get past Kansas City or Baltimore with the offense that they had, you are delusional. You can't win with Sony Michel and James White and Rex Burkhead as your running backs. You can't win by putting a linebacker in at fullback. And it was cute when they threw it to him against the Dolphins, but they also lost against the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. You can't win by throwing the ball to N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers and 48-year-old Julian Edelman who's being double covered and injured, or Philip Dorsett. I mean, you can't win when your main center or offensive lineman goes down with a heart issue for the whole season. I mean, you have basically old Yeller out there as quarterback, and
That's good.
And like you're getting ready to take him out back, and you're not giving him any help. And if you think that the defense can just carry it through, what we watched these last 2 weeks against the last 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks since they lost to Baltimore, what we've seen, the defense can't carry you through against good enough teams. They can't carry you through enough for the offense to carry you over good enough teams. Couldn't do it against Houston, couldn't do it at home against Kansas City. You almost couldn't do it against Cincinnati or Buffalo, much less Miami, who you lost to. And then you couldn't do it with Tennessee, who's running back as a bowling ball. Right. I mean, they need... And then Brady, and then this whole thing about Brady being at the end of his contract and being a free agent this year, and just hearing everybody talk on social media about how it's the end of his tenure in New England, and he's going to go play somewhere else. Firstly, no one's going to go out and get a 43-year-old quarterback and expect him to start, number one, even if he is Tom Brady. I didn't expect them to win, but this is not a feeling I felt in a long time.
Sure.
The last time they made the last time they didn't make the AFC Championship game was 2010, which was when they lost to... Oh, no, wait. Last home loss? Okay, yeah. The last time they didn't make the AFC Championship game was 2010, which is like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
For me. That's 8 years. So this is new. And just knowing that the playoffs will continue without my team, it sucks.
It's a new feeling for you, I know. And it's one of... Now, you're in that strange place, too, where it's like... I mean, it's something that I'm very accustomed to, but, like, how do you kind of move on? How do you continue to move on? And obviously, like, enjoying football isn't so much the issue, but it is a different kind of enjoyment when your team isn't involved. And I also didn't really expect to I mean, I didn't expect to see this happen so early in playoffs. Do you really think that Tom Brady is done?
No, not at all. Not even close.
You think the Patriots will sign him to a shorter contract?
Yeah, I think he's using this loss as leverage to get some more money. Either that or convince the front office to be like, hey, give me more weapons or give me an offensive line, because that's what they need.
Right.
That's why the offense was so bad, because you're throwing to 2 rookies and your short-ass wide receiver who's 50 years old and he's being double covered and he's injured.
Right.
Your offense at the beginning of the season was Antonio Brown, Josh Gordon, Edelman, and Michelle, and, whoever. That offense is ridiculous.
Right.
They got up to, like, the best two-way start in NFL history, and then everything fell apart after they lost to Baltimore. That was the turning point of the season when they lost to Baltimore. But, no, I don't think Brady's done. I would be very surprised. And I think the press conference that he said where he's like, I don't know what the future holds, let's leave it at that, I think he was just emotional from the loss. He ran off the field like a little bitch after the game, by the way. He didn't really shake Tannehill's hand either, which also pissed me off, too.
Yeah, Patriots are sore losers because they're not used to it.
Well, yeah. No, this is true. I'll give you that.
And the fans, too. I mean, and that's fair.
Okay, well,
as a generalization, that's fair.
All right, sure.
But
we just expect it. That's all. We just expect to win.
And I mean, it's interesting. I think about what you said too about him being a 43-year-old quarterback. There are certain teams that could probably benefit from having him. I read the only interesting social media projection, like social media being out there and being like, what about this?
I'm sure.
The Dolphins.
Okay, even though the Dolphins are going to get Tua now because Tua declared for the NFL draft.
Exactly.
Today.
Exactly. Earlier this week, Tua Tagovailoa declared for the NFL draft. The Dolphins can still feasibly get him because he is not the top draft prospect anymore. And it would be interesting to see Brady be in that mentor role. But that's the only interesting that I've seen.
It isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not leaving New England because I don't know what other team would use it. Why would he go to another team and try to learn another playbook and build rapport with a new offensive line and a new core of receivers?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. He knows all the playbooks because he's played them all.
Does he?
He's played all of them.
He knows the defensive playbooks, sure.
Yeah.
Not the offensive ones.
Okay, that's fair. But I think...
Also, Josh McDaniels isn't going anywhere as a head coach after that performance.
Oh, totally.
So I think that it would be reasonable for him to stay use this leverage to, either invest in him more financially or get him weapons, which I think they should do. And, stick with it for another year or two. That would be the logical thing to do.
Do you have any, just thinking back on this game, which I don't even want to say, I don't think this was the worst they've been all season either.
It was. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
He's put up career lows this season.
No, this game in the scope of this season, I don't think this was the worst they have looked.
No, I think Miami was probably the worst that they've looked.
Exactly.
But it carries over into the next round.
Whose fault is it that they lost this game?
It boils down to the front office. Boils down to Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick not okay. You know how I just said that they started the season with Brown and Gordon and all these other players? They cut Brown because of all the sexual assault stuff. They cut Gordon because of all the drug stuff. I wonder what the MO of Bill Belichick is. Has he really won enough that he can sit back and be like, no, we're gonna make an example out of you. We're gonna make a character out of you, and really be interested in evolving the character of men. Remember how we did it to Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl, where he sat him because of some godforsaken reason?
Right.
I mean, if he was really all in on winning, he probably would have let Malcolm Butler play in that game. Would we have won? Would it have given us a better chance to win? Sure. Would we have won? I don't know. Probably not. But I wonder if it's just the betterment of a human being versus winning football teams. I just wonder where he's at, because I know Brady is all about winning at any cost.
Right.
So for me, it boils down to them thinking that they could get farther along than they could. I just don't know what you're doing if you don't have every what's the word I'm looking for? Every belief that your team can win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
What are you doing here if you don't have every shred of faith in your team that you can win? And looking at that team down the stretch, no chance. I had no faith that they could win the Super Bowl.
Right.
No faith that they could even, when they lost the bye, I was like, they're screwed. They're not even going to get back to the AFC Championship game.
Right.
It's just, that's where the blame lies for me. I mean, if you're Brady, you're out there and you're dealing, you have to play the cards you've been dealt.
Right.
And if your cards are two running backs who are, skin and bones, and wide receivers who are short as hell and new as hell, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And an offensive line that's in tatters, what's the point?
I mean, it sucks. Who'd have thought we'd be here? Not me. That was kind of the theme of last episode, and I think it's something that I think it would have been really hard to prepare for. But it's also just now you're asking all these questions in a very roundabout way, but what it boils down to is, where do they go from here?
What it boils down to is, where do they go from here? They go out and they figure out how to get better from last year. They go out and they fix all the shit that they did wrong. I'm sure Brady has some kind of, influence here. Mm-hmm. Go out, trade for Odell or something. He's wanted to come play here. Figure the hell out Antonio Brown and see what he's up to. The wide receiver class in the draft is really deep this year.
Right,
so
that's true.
They have to get somebody there. They go out and they bolster the offensive line. They have to do something. I think the defense is fine if the offense plays well.
Right.
And that's, for me, what it boils down to. Is just needing to... Basically, you're going to have to Peyton Manning in 2015, 2016, Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. You're just going to have to put old Yeller on your back and give him the supporting cast that he needs. And have the defense win the Super Bowl. That's fine. Doesn't matter. You just need to... And you know what? And this is what gives me, the solace that everything's going to be okay. Is that even if it is the end for Brady, even if he goes somewhere else or whatever, we get to start again. We get to try it all again. This is what gives me... When I wake up tomorrow, I'm still gonna be a Patriots fan. When I wake up tomorrow, my team will have won 6 Super Bowls in the last 18 years and just been dominating this league for 20 years. For 20 years. And you and a lot of other people that are listening and watching are not.
Right.
And it just, it's... it's still fine.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be okay. And when it boils down to it, football's a game. It's a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to have fun. You're supposed to feel these lows only so that the highs can be that much better. And if this is the end for Brady and if it's the end for Belichick, then you get to start over. Maybe Jarrett Stidham comes out and he's the next best thing since sliced bread. We don't know that. You don't know that. I don't know that. It
wasn't going to last forever.
No, I know that. I
You know?
know. And I still have faith that we're just going to squeeze out a little bit more. Because the dude, as far as I know, as long as Tom Brady can walk and run on that field, he'll be playing. And I just don't believe that he's going to... I believe that he's got enough leverage to say, listen, assholes. Listen, Bob and Bill. This is what the deal is. This is what you need to do if you want to win another Super Bowl with me. I feel like if he wins the Super Bowl next year, he'll retire. Or something like that.
This team can't win a Super Bowl.
This team can't win a Super Bowl.
They're going to have to do a whole hell of a lot.
No, I mean, this team that we just saw on Saturday can't win a Super Bowl.
No, that's what I mean.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They're
going to have to really... I mean, it takes... We've seen a couple of miracles, you know, Wonderkind McVay coming into LA and fixing an offense in a year, but it typically takes a whole hell of a lot longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe not. Again, this team has been dominant for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty much 2 quarterback lifetimes.
But you lost everything. You lost everything this year.
Yeah,
You
but
lost everything.
Sometimes you have to lose a lot in order to gain a lot.
That's true.
You know? They lost Brady and then they went out and got... No, wait, they didn't lose Brady that year. They lost in the AFC Championship game to the Colts. They blew a 21-0 lead in the AFC Championship game to lose. And then they went out and got Randy Moss. And then they were the only team to finish 16-0 in the regular season. They loaded up, and I think they have the potential to load up again.
Well, we'll see. We will see. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Are you good?
My team is the best. And you can subtweet me all you want on Instagram. You can subtweet me on Twitter and all that stuff, and you can dig at me and try... No, and shut up, because you have. And you can try to get under my skin. My team is the best. And we will come again. And I'm still here. I'm still here and we're still here.
We're still here. We're still here. I want everyone to know, by the way, that it didn't take a whole lot of fiber in my being to know that I should not text Andrew first after that happened.
And you didn't.
I didn't. I wanted to give you your grieving time. You texted me and you said you were okay. And that's... Yes.
Yeah, you were not the first person to text me. My other Giants fan friend, he and I make a bet at the beginning of every season. Whichever team gets farther, that the other guy owes them $20. So he's like, the Giants are going to finish better than the Patriots this year, and he's given me $20 every year for the last however many years it is.
You must be a very rich man.
Since we've known each other, I have. I spent it on food. Yeah, so that's it. I didn't expect this to be as somber as it was. I really thought that it would be fiery and impassioned. But I've had a couple days to really think about it, and that's just kind of where I am.
You know what? That's okay. That's okay. And you know what? We're gonna get fired up because we have a lot to look at going ahead. This wasn't the only game, obviously, that happened this weekend. So.
That was the other thing. My Super Bowl pick got eliminated over the weekend. Hooray!
Yeah. So we gotta make some new picks. Both of us do. So coming up next, we're gonna talk a little bit about the new playoff picture, and because we were both wrong, dreadfully wrong, and then we've got some really fun stuff planned later in the show. So everybody stick around, and we'll be back very shortly.